Hello, it's Kimberly Rutherford, and I'm here today with what I hope will be a really brief review of Invisible Leadership, which is code number 6 in Mark Hoverson's Solomon $10 million plus executive level training courses within the Internet Lifestyle Network. And I have to warn you right off the bat that this is a mind bender. This is designed to stretch you, and in fact it will. So Invisible Leadership by Mark Hoverson is interesting on a lot of different levels, and after you listen to it 2 or 3 times, you realize that your first take was just the tip of the iceberg, because among other things, the pedagogy itself is new and different. So in addition to learning something, and like specifically learning about invisible leadership, you're also learning a new way to learn. And as part of that, you're also learning a new way to teach, which then cements your learning. So bear with me here. I'll try to make this pretty organized and concise for you. The particular method of teaching this class that Mark Hoverson uses involves excavation, which is an exploration of a text, and then imagination, where we bring that into our own lives and make it applicable to ourselves and try to internalize it. And then integration, which is the manifestation in the real world, in the whole world, of what we've learned. So the text in this instance is the story of David, and we know David as in David and Goliath, right? And there are really 3 segments to that as well. There's the invisible David before Goliath, and then there's the very public success of David when he'd slayed Goliath, and then there's the legacy that he left, the after Goliath part, with the rejoicing and the ongoing and generational wisdom that he left, in addition to being Solomon's father. So with the context of David in mind, we can try to switch our paradigm to us, and us in the business world, and us in what we're trying to achieve. In the business world, the before Goliath section, the invisible David, involves us slaying our own lions and bears, all those private successes that need to be achieved before we can even begin to move to the public successes. And that involves identifying your demons, whether they're knowledge, often they're knowledge-based, whether it's technological illiteracy or other things that you just haven't learned. But also many of them are mindset-based. I mean, that if we have a poverty mindset, or no way to visualize being able to accomplish things that would like to accomplish in life, it's very difficult. So slaying those lions and bears, the invisible part, is what requires hard work and effort, sort of in secret. Nobody will know that you're doing this, and that's where the real persistence comes in. So that's step 1 on the journey for us. Then when we move to the imagination section, which for David was actually slaying Goliath, that means that we're actually starting to slay our demons, that our skills are increasing, and with each new skill our confidence surges. And most importantly, I think, is that as we do those things, as our skills increase and our confidence increases, we're able to morph our reaction to fear from a default setting, which everybody has, which is flight, just retreat, to go away from anything we fear. As we begin the imagination section there, we're able to switch that response to fear to being one of going forward, to being confident, to being courageous. So it's a lot to think about in terms of courage. Courage being not the lack of fear, but how we respond to fear, what our actions and our behaviors and our words and our thoughts are when faced with a fearful situation. And then on to the integration, the manifestation part of that. In a business sense, if you try to get from the David story and think about it in a business sense, you're talking about the manifestation. So at this point, it's not just that you're considered a public success, you're making a lot of money, but even a step beyond that, the legacy that you intend to leave, the vision that you have, and how your success is going to affect the rest of the world. So it's very interesting for those of us in the Internet Lifestyle Network, because we're sort of right here at the crossroads of history. We're there with him. We see Mark Hoverson, in fact, having spent all those years as the Invisible David, and then achieved all that public success as he slays Goliath, and now, in fact, is building a legacy. I mean, our children and grandchildren will be watching the Mark Hoverson trainings the way that we still read Napoleon Hill 100 years after he was researching and writing and, creating, excuse me, that definitive text of success. So it's another layer. It's very self-referential. There are a lot of ways that you'll be involved in this. In fact, it's almost impossible to get your head around, and you'll listen to it over and over and over. Anyways, I would encourage anyone who has an idea of creating any sort of generational wealth or creating a legacy, doing some good in the world. I mean, beyond the step of doing the best you possibly can for yourself and your family and your immediate community, to really reaching out to the rest of the world, you've got to hear this. It's, again, it's part of Mark Hoverson's Solomon 10 Million Plus training within the Internet Lifestyle Network. I will put links below to help you find me and find it, so you can get access as soon as you possibly can. And your mind will expand in ways that will, as a matter of course, as long as you can embrace the courage and go through the trials of the invisible years, will really allow you to achieve invisible leadership. So I look forward to talking to you about it. I would love to share this with more people. I would love to discuss it in more detail, because obviously this is just the briefest scratch of the surface, but I highly recommend this course. If there's one word I could apply to it, it would have to be profound. So, hoping you all the greatest of successes. I hope you reach the point of rejoicing with your army of mighty men, and that the world becomes a better place for you having been in it. Thanks.